Welcome to episode 2 of the NFC East Unleashed podcast, where your team doesn't have to be in the NFC East, but it sure does help. I'm Griffin and Amir, joined with my co-host Amir. And man, week 2 was filled with a lot, and I mean a lot of upsets. You had the Falcons beating the Eagles on Monday night. You had my team getting curb stomped in the ground. You had the Vikings beating the 49ers, the Bucks beating the Lions. It was just crazy, man. So we're just going to do a little quick recap of week 2. Just what our 2 games here. I think we're going to start with Amir's game. Amir, just a quick analysis on your game, man.
The Commanders game, it wasn't the best. I'm
Yeah.
glad. I mean, I can't really say that I'm glad my team won because it was not good. My team did not look convincing. The Commanders didn't look convincing at all. But the one thing we want as Commanders fans to know is that Jane Daniels is the future of this team. And in week 2, he versed a way better defensive line with Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, which I don't really like Kayvon Thibodeau, but that's a whole nother story.
This guy's got
But
personal beef with Kayvon
it
Thibodeau.
wasn't it wasn't a good game. I mean, I'm glad we
Yes.
won, but I mean, we beat the Giants. So, great for us. Now we have the Bengals Monday night. Let's see what happens then.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't really want to talk about my game, but I guess I'll have to. The Saints walking into Dallas and Derek Carr. I'm putting on my suit here. I would like to formally apologize to every single Saints fan I talked crap to. Derek Carr, I am not familiar with your game. Alvin Kamara, for some reason I thought you were 33. Apparently you're 29.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, not a lot to say besides defense crap. Uh, Offense, God, we have terrible red zone offense.
And it was lackluster. Week 2 in general was a very unpredictable.
Yeah,
So,
all the good teams are 1-1 now, except the
the Ravens
Texans and the
lost 2, I'm
Chiefs.
pretty sure. The
Yeah,
Ravens lost 2.
yeah, to the Raiders, 26-23. That Falcons game, you guys saw my reaction to that. Oh my God. All right. So yeah, I mean, just a weird week in general, and a lot of injuries happened.
A lot.
Obviously, if you have any insight on the injuries, I'll kind of just run through the ones I know, and then if you have any other ones, I mean, I think the most notable one, is come down to the NFC West, and that is Deebo Samuel is gonna be out for a couple weeks with calf problems. Yes, no, maybe. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I don't really know how that happened. I think he did something in the Viking game. I don't know. I don't really pay attention. Another one, AJ Brown. If I remember correctly, he did something in practice. I forget what he did. Do you
Yes,
remember?
he's out. He will be sidelined for a few weeks. So the injury wasn't really a known injury. We were just told, or people on Twitter were told that he will be sidelined for a few weeks, just like Deebo Samuel. The injury for those two receivers, it wasn't very known, but Adam Schefter said that they will be sidelined as just like precaution and stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel like that was part of the reason why that Eagles offense kind of collapsed.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. Another notable one, Cooper Cup going down in the Cardinals blowout win, and oh my God, that Rams team is just plagued with injuries. It's 2022 all over again for them.
I mean, it
They
was
make a playoff
awful.
run, and then they just collapse.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention, Justin Herbert got injured too. Puka Nakua got hurt.
Yeah. Kenneth
Isaiah
Walker.
Pacheco's out. He went on
Yeah,
injured
Isaiah
reserve, I think,
Pacheco.
today. Kenneth Walker, Rashad White from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze as well. T. Higgins, questionable, but he should be back to play.
Yeah.
Puka Nakua, Justin Jefferson, although he's trending to come back as well.
It was just
AJ Brown, we talked
bad.
about. Devo Samuel, we talked about.
I just want to get onto the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs were both listed yesterday as did not practice. CeeDee Lamb with an ankle injury, he said, reported, and Trayvon Diggs with a foot injury. They were listed today as limited participation, and we really need those two against the Ravens. I mean, we'll get to it later, but
You need your best players to play against good
yeah,
teams.
yeah. I mean, we just can't have that happening. Um, any
For the
injuries,
Commanders,
Commanders wise?
um, yes, there's actually a few injuries. Our defensive end, Clelin Ferrell, who actually leads the team with sacks with 2.5. He has a knee injury. He's a DNP, did not participate. Emmanuel Forbes will be out for 3 to 4 weeks, but he had a thumb. Because he's not on IR, Washington still has to put him on their injury report, but he did not play as well or participate. This is the most important one, I feel like. For some better news, Johnny Newton, the rookie that fell to Washington, Dan Quinn said today he was on a 12 snap count last week, and that will be it will be more boosted. So we will be seeing how do I say it? We will be seeing our rookie defensive tackle playing a bit more with now with all these speculations coming with maybe trading Jonathan Allen or Deron Payne. Brandon Coleman has a minor ankle injury, reported by John Keane, but he was full and he will be 100% fine to play. Quan Martin, the starting safety, he had a hamstring injury, limited to play, but he should also be good to play. And Zach Ertz, he's not injured. He just had a rest day, and he didn't play either. And Johnny Newton, he also had a rest day. That is why he is DNP.
Yeah. Ferguson also a bunch of LPs for us. Eric Kendricks
We
not good.
also had another shocker, Benjamin St. Juice, the one corner that's looked pretty fine this year for us. He was also added to the injury report. I'm assuming it happened during practice today, but it's a groin injury for him, and he was limited.
Oh my god, I'm taking a look at my injury report and like, okay, Lamb is listed limited participation, which is better, obviously. Ferguson still on limited participation. I do expect him to sit out against the Ravens. Malik Hooker again limited participation with his shoulder. Trayvon Diggs and Jalen Brooks both with injuries related to their feet and ankle. But yeah, I mean, man, these injuries have just been already plaguing the league, and it's week 3.
It's only week 3, man.
Yeah,
That's the bad part about it.
which, I mean, you never want to risk injury on a team, and I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, with all that negativity being said, the first game of week 3 is happening right now as we're recording, but a bit of a score update. The Jets just are winning 21-3 with 4:30 to go in the third quarter. But
Thank God Garrett Wilson got a touchdown.
yeah, he
Jeez.
just got a touchdown. But I think me and Griffin were assumed. I think me and Griffin were on the same
Yeah.
page when we said
Yeah.
the Jets were
Jets.
going to win
Yeah.
this game.
Jets. This was an easy pick.
But so going on to the Griffin. Also, by the way, I'm just literally searching up NFL, and I'm
Yeah.
using
Yeah.
the
I'm using it too.
game.
I'm using it too.
So the first game up is probably a bit. There's a lot of 50-50 games this week, but starting with a pretty easier one, I guess we could say. Giants versus the Cleveland Browns. Sunday, 1 p.m. game. Um, both teams clearly. I think the Browns will win this game
Yeah.
because the Giants they just didn't convince me enough. Daniel Jones hasn't convinced me enough. That defense for the Giants again could keep it very close.
Yeah.
But I just think this is the game where the Browns team kind of clicks. Amari Cooper has a nice game. Jerome Ford has a nice game. That defense shuts Daniel Jones out. And I'm not going to speak a lot for these games. I think the Browns can easily go in, beat the Giants, and move on to week 4. Your thoughts?
Yeah. I'm also gonna take the Browns here. But I mean, there's a very chance that Giants defense steps up, gets a win. But I mean, this
Yeah,
Browns offense looked a lot better than it did. Still not
week
as
1.
good, but a lot better than it did week 1. Jerome Ford getting some nice play time along with Jerry Jeudy. Amari Cooper though, you might be looking at Amari Cooper trying to be a free agent next season without them re-signing him. Dallas Cowboys
Yeah.
reunion? I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Browns here. I think that Giants offense, I mean, just with Daniel Jones, man, they clicked, you know, 3 touchdowns, still lost the game somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we just have a goat kicker already. That's why.
Yeah, better than the one
But
first week.
um, so that game was pretty obvious. Now let's go on to another 50-50 type game, I guess you could say. The Eagles against the New Orleans
Oh
Saints.
my God.
These games are going to be so hard to pick. This might be the toughest week to pick games.
57.4% chance the Saints are gonna win. Wow.
I mean,
I would
can you
honestly give
blame them?
91 points dropped in first 2 games. Best
Yeah,
Saints
I
have
mean,
looked
can you
since 2020, 2016, something like that.
2019 is the last
2019.
time they scored over like 35 points regularly.
Dude, now that Monday Night Football game against the Chiefs is gonna be sick, dude. If they keep doing this, wow.
Can you really blame the 57% win percentage? I mean, the Saints look like the better team right now,
Yeah,
and their record proves it. I
yeah,
mean, the Eagles had a very rough outing against the Falcons.
yeah. They were running
One of our friends who's
terrible
a Falcons fan
defense.
is very happy about that, but
Terrible defense against
I mean, it was
on
just
that last
awful. You
drive.
were reacting to the whole game, so you
Yeah,
probably know more than I do about the game. But from my knowledge, it was very boring. I think it was like 9-7 at halftime,
yeah.
so not the best game. The Eagles are also traveling to New Orleans, who have one of the like craziest fan bases ever.
Apparently, yeah. I've
It
never seen more New Orleans fans ever in my time watching football than I have in the 2024 season.
Yeah, but I think the defense is gonna be a bit better for the Saints, especially with AJ Brown being out. And I think the Eagles have a few injuries to their defense as well. But I just think Alvin Kamara is playing out of his mind. Derek Carr as well. Rashid Shaheed as well.
I want to see.
I just think with with AJ Brown out, it's gonna be a bit tough just for the Eagles to score a bit more points than the Saints, which is
Yeah,
why I have the Saints winning this game, but barely. If the Eagles win, like I said, you can't really get mad who wins these games because, like, it's honestly 50-50.
yeah.
But I think it's the Saints. What about you?
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Saints here. Marshawn Lattimore is looking like he will return, and CJ Gardner Johnson was a do not practice on Thursday. So I'm going to take the Saints here in a very sketchy one, but I also think that there's a possibility that Saints blow the doors off this Eagles defense, which
Yeah,
collapsed on the pressure against the Falcons. Moving on, we're just going to roll into the next game here, if I can get to it.
I think the next game's the well, okay. This game's actually a bit worrying for me because I am a Texans fan as well.
You say
We
boring?
play no, a bit obnoxious for me. I don't know why I said boring. Because
I
um
was like, what?
we're traveling to Minnesota. It's a battle of two out of the four teams that I think are still undefeated. Um
Yeah.
I think the Texans, I think they'll still head out with the win because I just think I trust this defense. Like this secondary and defensive line is going to be crazy for years to come. I mean, you have Will Anderson, who's 23 years old, Derek Stingley against the Texans have the only the two cornerbacks in the whole league to allow less than a 10% passer rating completion to any receivers in the league. And Kamari Lassiter, he looks like a stud already. I just think, I mean, really honestly, for the Vikings, make Sam Darnold play like Sam Darnold and score points on offense and get Tank Dell involved a bit more than you have been getting him involved in the first two games. And the Texans should really sneak out of Minnesota with a pretty easy victory, I should say, if all goes well.
Yeah, I was originally going to take the Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings. Dallas Turner was a do not practice both days in a week. Jordan Addison still do not practice, and Justin Jefferson are limited. So if Dallas Turner doesn't play, then that could affect that defense hard, but maybe not. Um, Obviously T.J. Hawkinson I think is still out. But yeah, I'm gonna
Yes,
go
I
ahead and
think
take the
so.
Texans on this one. I just think right now they're the healthier team, and I think they are gonna come out with the more explosive plays and hand the Vikings their first loss of the season. Moving on to Tennessee, we have the Green Bay Packers traveling to Tennessee Titans, and I actually want to start with this one here. I have the Tennessee Titans winning this game against Malik Willis. Tennessee is due for a win, and I think that against this Tennessee defense, who is
I'm
very
gonna have to
good
stop you
against
right there.
oh
I'm gonna have to stop you right there because Jordan Love is after a week of that gruesome injury. He's already on target to play this game.
oh
So
oh
that's why I was like, "Have you seen the news, Griffin?
I
He's
haven't
projected to play again."
I saw that he was like practicing. I didn't realize he was ready to play.
Adam Schefter said today that he's practicing, and Jordan Love said himself he's on track to play, or he can imagine himself playing against the Titans.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still gonna take the Titans. I think that Titans defense is going to lock up that run game. I think L'Jarius Sneed on I think Jaden Reed is going to be deadly. I think Sneed's gonna have a great game, and I just think this Tennessee Titans defense is gonna win it, even when Will Levis makes some poor plays, which I think he will. But
That offense it has not been looking good for the
yeah, but if
Titans
that
so
defense
far.
can stay up, I'm gonna take the Titans at home to get their first win. And Amir, your thoughts?
Um, I've said this. I said this in our first episode. I'm not the best Titans believer. I don't really have a lot of faith in the Titans. Like I said last year, I think it was the Commanders, and look what happened. We picked second overall. Um, could you? Here's a funny fact. Here's a fun fact. The Titans have lost both of their games 24-17. They lost to the Bears
Oh wow,
24 to
they did.
17 and lost to the Jets 24 to 17. A bit of a fun fact here. Me personally though, I'm going to take the Packers. The Packers are one of my agenda teams this year. I think Jordan Love will still come and play solid enough for this team. I think this game's going to be who gets the more turnovers and better quarterback play. I think Jordan Love is very much confidently a better quarterback than Will Levis, and I think Jair Alexander against DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Boyd, and the other receiver and Calvin Ridley. I think that's just going to be a funny matchup for Jair Alexander. They also have a very solid number two corner as well, and that secondary with Xavier McKinnon and I think it's Adrian Amos, if I'm not mistaken. And I just think Kenny Clark's gonna eat, Zadarius Smith is gonna eat, and I just think the Packers are gonna win, and the Titans they're gonna fall to 0-3. I'm pretty sure. Yes, they're gonna fall to 0-3, and the Packers will move to 2-1.
Yeah, that's a very like I wouldn't bet on that game honestly. If I was betting, I would not bet
Yeah,
on that game because that is such like a 50-50 lopsided game. It
yeah,
literally
I
comes
know.
down to defense or if Jordan Love plays. Moving on to Indianapolis, we have the Chicago Bears traveling on the road again. Bears after a very just disappointing loss to the Houston
That I
Texans.
watched that game a little bit. That was
20
a
penalties
very stupid
accepted
game.
on the Texans.
It was
Um,
stupid for the Bears.
yeah,
That
the
was a
Bears,
very
their
stupid game.
biggest problem. Oh my God, I think I've just seen Caleb Williams die and get resurrected like 50 times. That offensive line is like literal like Dallas Cowboys against the Saints trash. Like, oh my God, that was bad. He got hit every play. I'm pretty sure he had no protection from that offensive line.
Oh no, he got hit like almost every play.
Yeah.
I can assure you that.
Um, and I mean the Colts, just Anthony Richardson, man. I expected a lot more out of him on that Packers game, but I mean 3 picks, dude. He's got to protect that ball more, man. I know he's a scrambler and I know he likes to air it out, but I mean, that was just that was that was tough.
Caleb
Um,
Williams, yeah. I mean, there was one pick who he threw it to Kamari Lassiter, who's already trying to. You guys are gonna hear me talking about Kamari Lassiter a lot this season. There was one pick where Caleb Williams thought I saw this one tweet and it was like someone, an insider, saying Caleb Williams must have thought he's still in college because this exact coverage and play happened when he was at USC, and it turned into a 59-yard touchdown for
Yeah.
USC. But in this scenario, it gets picked off, and it was in double coverage by by NFL grown men.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Caleb Williams. These rookies are not having. I'd say Jaden Daniels is the best rookie that I've seen. In an
Yeah.
upset here, I'm gonna take the Chicago Bears. I think that Caleb Williams, while he doesn't find his footing, I do think that that Chicago defense is gonna step up, and I think that that Colts defense could also take advantage. But one of the problems with the Colts defense is that run game, and if they can get that run game down with DeAndre Swift, I expect DeAndre Swift to have a very good game. I'm gonna take the Bears here away, and Amir.
For me, this is very tough. It really is
Yeah, don't bet on
because
this game, dude. Do
I'm
not bet,
not
and
betting
nobody
on
bet
this
on this
game
game. Nobody.
because it's just kind of a bit. How do I say it? I guess it's a bit anxious for me because the Colts were one of the teams I really thought could be a very. I thought the Colts were going to come second in
Whoa,
the
whoa, whoa, whoa,
AFC
wait,
North.
wait. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Sorry. Someone just went down on the Jets game. I couldn't tell who it was.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's in the backfield. It's either Tyron Smith or it's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my! I'm checking Twitter.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
Oh,
on.
it's Morgan Moses.
Oh,
Morgan
it's Morgan
Moses.
Moses?
An insider just said Morgan Moses is hurt and in a lot of pain on the field. That did not look good at all for the
Oh
Jets.
my god. Oh yeah, it is. Oh, he took his helmet off and everything. Oh my god. That looks so
That's a
bad.
stinker.
That looks so bad. I just watched the replay. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was awful.
This is what happens when you start recording during
Yeah,
a
when you
game,
start,
man. You get
yeah,
all these
okay.
things that are just going
But like I
crazy.
was saying, I think we'll definitely get to that injury once we find out more.
Yeah.
But like I said, I had the Colts being second in the division behind the Texans. And I had the Titans being last. And statistically, everyone other than the Texans are second place in the division. But I just didn't have the Colts starting out 0-3 for some reason.
Oh, with the
Um,
rookies coming in.
yeah, Ulu Fashanu. I can't wait to watch him play. Prayers to Morgan Moses, but he was one of my guys.
Yeah.
But so basically, the Colts are the bit of a healthier team. Two of their most important players on in their secondary, Kenny Moore, their best corner, and Thomas Jr. They were both full of practice. Josh Downs is finally healthy and playing. That's really good. And also Julian Blackman, their other starting safety, who's a very solid corner or safety. He's also full. Only Matt Gay and their
Oh,
rookie
Matt
the end
Gay.
Latu. They those were the two people that didn't play. I'm actually gonna go to the opposite side here, and I think Jonathan Taylor's gonna have an amazing game. I think Anthony Richardson's gonna have a bounce back game and really lead the Colts to victory at home to kind of give them some momentum going on to week 4.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's a very tough game to bet on. And another very tough game to bet on is the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Both these teams looking really hot right now. Both starting 2 and
Oh my
0,
God.
but
These are so many tough games. Why?
both of them kind of really played two terrible teams. The Chargers played the Raiders, who obviously had a bounce back win last week, and they played the Panthers last week, and the Steelers beat up on Atlanta and then beat up on Denver, and now they're gonna play each other. I like, and this might be a shocker, I like the Chargers in this game. I think that the Steelers defense could be a stunner, but I think when you look at what the Chargers have done on offense compared to the Steelers, I think the Steelers have one touchdown this whole season of offense. They won 18-0 or 18-10 with field goals, and they won 13-6 with one touchdown. I think 2 field goals. I like the Chargers in this game. They put up more points. Their running game looks phenomenal. Jim Harbaugh is just coming out and just doing his thing. So I like the Chargers in this game to get a win on the road and move up to 3-0 and potentially take the 1 seed or take the top of the AFC West if we see how the Chiefs game goes. Amir?
For me, I'm actually gonna take the complete opposite again. We're having a lot of opposite games, but
Yeah.
for me, I think this really comes down because I think the Steelers are they're playing good football. So are the Chargers. I just think that Steelers defense is gonna kind of like this is gonna be the game where like the Chargers kind of like feel their lackluster depth and talent at the receiver position.
Hmm.
And like I said last week or on the first episode, Joey Porter is turning into a star for them. They also got Dante Jackson, one of the fastest, if not the fastest corner, and a very good corner. They
And they
also
got
have
Roquan Smith.
No, they
Oh,
also
not Roquan
Raycon
Smith.
Smith.
What's his name? Who was the Ravens linebacker? Patrick Queen.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have Patrick Queen now in the middle with Alex Highsmith. Those two are an unbelievable duo. On
Yeah,
top of
that is
that,
pretty good.
you have Minka Fitzpatrick, then you have Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt. I just think it's gonna be a bit tough for the Chargers to score a few points. Again, this is gonna be like the week one Steelers game where they only scored 18 points, but their defense let the other team
Yeah.
score only 10. I just think the Steelers are going to sneak out with a victory, and I just think Justin Fields is going to have another pretty decent game, regardless of what the critics or reporters say. I think he has been playing very solid to start off, and I think Joey Porter Jr. or George Pickens is going to have a very, very nice game. Moving on to the next
Hold on, hold on,
game,
hold
which is
on.
again,
Before we move on, yeah, honestly, the best matchup. I'm so excited. You're gonna have probably Joe Alt on T.J. Watt, which
yeah,
Joe Alt was. I mean, obviously great against the Panthers, but was great against the what's he called? The Raiders. Max Crosby did not allow a single pressure. I think
yup.
that Joe Alt is going to put a weight on TJ Watt. That's why I'm picking the Chargers. And I also think that that run game for the Chargers with that new revamped offensive line kind of is going to help them there. You were saying
What was I even saying?
next game.
Oh, next game, a bit of a score update for the Jets and Patriots game. It's 21-3 in favor of in the Jets, and it's end of the third quarter. We'll have more on the Moses injury, I'm pretty sure, very shortly. But the next game, we're going to be moving to, we're going to be heading on to Seattle as the Miami Dolphins travel to the Seattle Seahawks to play. The Seahawks are 2-0. The Dolphins are 1-1.
I think we
What are
jumped
your thoughts on
ahead.
this game?
I think we jumped ahead, but we'll cover this game first. We'll go to the next game next.
Wait, we did?
I think we did. We missed the Buccaneers game at 1 o'clock, but it's fine. We'll go here first. All good.
And and then we'll just go to the.
um.
Wait, I think we skipped it before the Packers game too.
Oh, I haven't like in a weird. I think I have it in a different order than you. Dolphins Seahawks. Seahawks getting a sneaky close win up against the New
The
England Patriots
Patriots.
in overtime.
It
Uh,
the wasn't the best game.
Won by a field goal, but part of the reason why they weren't the best, Kenneth Walker was out with I believe an
Yes,
oblique injury. They
he's
said.
still projected to be out this week too as well.
Yeah. So obviously, but that defense
Not
is
not the fullest Seattle offense, I
yeah,
guess you
that
would say.
Seattle defense, though, I just think is really good. Mike McDonald has done something to that defense that is just, kind of just projected them to go crazy.
Yeah,
Dolphins, obviously, oh man, Tua Tagovailoa getting injured on that
that
run
was
play.
not. Oh my
He's
god.
on IR. We forgot to put him. We forgot to mention him on IR. Tua Tagovailoa is on IR. He will miss at least 4 games. And they went and obviously they have Skylar White, I believe is his name. And they went inside
Yes,
Tyler Huntley from the Ravens practice squad. Obviously, he was on the
yes.
Cleveland Browns and came
Tyler,
back
and
to
a
the
bit
Ravens.
of note for this game. Mike McDaniel has said that yeah, Skylar Thompson is their starting quarterback for this game.
Yeah. I don't. And we're gonna see how that pans out. Tyreek Hill, man. I mean, just him and Achan and Waddle and Skylar
Yeah,
Thompson just being there. Oh,
it was a nice game. I mean, it's a very nice offensive talent for the what's it called for the
Fumble,
Dolphins, they're a very fast team,
fumble,
but I
fumble.
think if you don't have a good quarterback, and you're essentially giving Skylar Thompson a week to get ready for this game. I just don't think you'll have the full playbook, and I think that's why it'll kind of be a limited play calling system for Mike McDaniel. It wouldn't shock me if the Dolphins win this game. It wouldn't shock me if the Seahawks win this game. This is again another 50-50 game. Now, obviously, if Tua was healthy, I would have picked the Dolphins. I think we could both agree on that.
Yeah,
But because Geno Smith's playing better than last year for some
Geno
reason,
Smith's playing out of his mind apparently.
I think I'm going to pick the Seattle Seahawks to win at home to go to 3-0 in the Mike McDonald era. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Seahawks here. I would not be surprised if the Dolphins win if Skylar Thompson or Tyler Huntley can air that ball out and get Tyreek Hill. I think that corner and safety situation for Seattle is gonna be bad if they can actually air the ball out. But if they can't, they can't. But yeah, I'm gonna take Seattle here. Better offense right now, better defense.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's move on
next,
to the
yeah,
game that we skipped.
yes,
The Broncos and Buccaneers game, so we can kind of go back on track. But so the Broncos and Buccaneers game, I think I'm going to again pick. I think I'm gonna these two teams. Bo Nix hasn't looked the best, and I really can't really blame him. The talent isn't the best around him, but it's a
they have no
decent,
run game.
talented group. That defense is fine. I just think this is going to be like that type of game where like Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin has a great game. And I just think the Bucks are the better team right now. They're turning into a very much threat in the NFC East or NFC, and
Yeah,
I just think the Buccaneers will go in, handle business, and come back out and really go to 3-0
yeah,
as
they'll
the
be
Denver
3-0.
Broncos will fall to 0-3 in the Bo Nix era.
Yeah, Denver has no running game. Only good receivers, Cortland Sutton and Jason Reynolds was great against or was good against the Steelers. I'm taking the Buccaneers here. I mean, this isn't really a game we need to elaborate much on. Neither is the next game, but yeah, Buccaneers obviously with a better team went into Detroit, beat
Yeah.
them, looked amazing.
Moving on to the next game. Not a lot to talk about. I think
Thank
me and Griffin can
God
both agree.
I took Devonte Adams from my friend in the trade, and I'm so happy because they will
I
cook this
think,
Panthers team.
yeah, I
Hopefully.
think me and Griffin can both agree on the Raiders winning this game. Not much to say. 36-year-old Andy Dalton starting for the Panthers this week, but I do want to talk about the Panthers quarterback situation because
Oh yeah, Bryce
it's
Young got benched.
yeah, Bryce Young did got benched. That I really want to talk about. I don't know why the NFL is torturing us with with this being a 4:20 4:05 game,
I don't know.
but Bryce Young being benched,
It's
I
sad.
get he's not playing good,
I'm
but
honestly a
it's
Bryce Young fan,
it's
and
honestly just stupidity by this front office, because I
oh yeah,
get Bryce Young's not playing good,
the Carolina Panthers
but
front office, it's known. It's like
buddy, we're not the Panthers are not going to keep Andy Dalton for 10 more years. They're going to keep Bryce Young most likely, I'm
trade him,
hoping,
trade
for the
Bryce
next
Young,
10
get him
years.
some potential.
But if you don't, it really comes with how are you going to set him up for success? You literally gave a third excuse me, you literally gave him a 35-year-old receiver and a very booty O line and said, you know what? Just have at it. Let's see what you can do. And then you bench him 2 games in. Like, seriously. But Bryce Young, hold on, I want to pull this up. Bryce Young, even with all that's going up against him, he said something so nicely that I really want to talk a lot about this. So someone asked if he was given enough time by the Panthers, and he said every snap hit my hands, and I didn't do enough with every snap. I'm going to always look into the mirror if I went out there and played better and we won games, I wouldn't have to be in this conversation or
Oh my
scenario.
god. Dude, this
He
Panthers team is corrupting this man down to the core.
he said
He
it
needs to get
so
out
nice,
of there.
so mature,
He needs to go. He needs to
but
get out.
it's stupid for you start because I don't think there's really going to be a difference when you start a 36-year-old quarterback. Wait, Andy Dalton's like 38, I think.
Yeah, Andy
Andy
Dalton's
Dalton.
old.
I don't think
He's
it's going to be better if you start a
36.
37-year-old quarterback over a 23-year-old quarterback. But hey, what do I know? Have at it, I guess. And the Panthers social media team, for some reason, they made a Andy Dalton hype video in 2024. I don't know why, but have at it, I guess. But me and Griffin, we both agree on the Raiders. Let's not waste much time.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the
Game of the
49ers and
week.
Rams
Oh,
game,
okay, we're going there. Go ahead.
aka
Injury Bowl.
aka the
Injury
Injury
Bowl.
Bowl.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. 49ers pound them by like 90 points. Who
Yeah,
Matthew Stafford
it's
is throwing to what? Tutu Atwell?
yeah,
No. No.
it's
That at least the
oh,
Niners
score
have Brandon
update,
Ayuk.
score update. I think this game's gonna I think the Rams game and 49ers game, we'll talk about that like right like in 10 seconds. Score update with 10:16 to go. The Jets have just scored another field or they scored another field goal and they have the ball right now again at the New
24 to
York
3.
Jets 35-yard line and they just took a timeout.
Yeah, it's
But
over.
like you were saying, um it's probably gonna be a 49ers in a very much blowout game. The
Yeah.
49ers have a bit more talent, like you said. Throwing to Tutu Atwell isn't very ideal
Yeah.
this early in the season. But I mean, Kyron Williams might have a great game. I hope he does. I mean, I need him to. He's on my fantasy team for crying out loud. But I think he might even be out as well too, or is questionable. So it might be a lackluster game. But I think the 49ers will pretty much win this game. I mean,
Yeah,
they're the healthier team, and I
uh-huh.
just think they'll win this game.
Yeah.
Moving on to.
Hold on, hold on, hold
Oh
on.
wait,
Hold
never
on.
mind. I forgot you have to
I
go
need to get
too.
my thoughts in. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Uh yeah. I mean, I don't really have a lot of thoughts. I mean, 49ers should be able to run the ball down the Rams. So I want to get to the game of the week last. Let's move to Arizona, where this is a sneaky game. The Detroit Lions travel to Arizona to face the Arizona Cardinals. Detroit just crap in the bed there against Tampa Bay.
It
Uh,
was a
they
very
led in
ugly game.
everything too. They led in time of
Yeah, they
possession, led in passing
dominated
yards.
everything.
Yeah, and they still lost. Buccaneers just outplayed them, and Cardinals. Oh my God, 31-point win against the
The Rams,
Rams.
who are bursting the 49ers this week.
But I mean, yeah, I feel like that. Um, that I honestly, as much as I want to take the Cardinals here, I think that Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams is gonna burn that Cardinals secondary. Besides Buda Baker, I'm gonna take the Lions here on the road to get the win.
Yeah, the who you're taking the who?
Uh, Detroit.
Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I really would love for the Lions for the Cardinals to win. Um, I mean, you saw what happens when you let Marvin Harrison Jr. get the ball. I mean, he was on projected for like 700 yards and like 4 touchdowns. But again, the Lions, it could have been a fluke game last week, and the Cardinals, their offense is clicking. This is more than likely going to be a offensive game, but I think the Lions will make that final stop when it matters most. And hey, a fun fact, we are going to for the first time I think this year, we are going to see a rookie versus a rookie in Marvin Harrison Jr. against Turion
Terry
Arnold
and
today.
Arnold, yeah. Um,
But I have the Lions winning this game,
I would
like you
not be
said.
surprised if the Cardinals win this game too.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I would
either.
also not bet on this game if I were a better.
But whatever happens, I think it's going to be a very high scoring game. I think Kyler Murray's going to have a good game. Jared Goff as well. It just really comes down to who gets the final edge, I guess. I
Yeah.
really can't describe who's going to win this game or lose this game.
Yeah. Moving on to You have the Baltimore Ravens, who are 0-2, taking on them boys from Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys, sitting at 1-1. Both teams look like crap. They look so bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ravens, losing by a field goal to the Raiders. And you know what? If Justin Tucker made that 50-yard field goal, which he didn't, Brandon Aubrey bet here, they would have tied the game. That would have been a tie game. And they would have been felt so much smoother. John Harbaugh looked like a complete idiot with his stupid challenges. And
Yeah.
yeah. But oh my God, the Cowboys 44-19. That's gonna haunt me. I'm gonna get made fun of for that. Yeah, Cowboys defense really crapped the bed. But I think that they bounced back. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna take the Cowboys here. Okay, I'm not being biased. Okay, I am. But Ravens right now are, I believe, last in the league for passing defense. They have been absolute garbage against the pass. That's what I heard. Can you that you might want to check those stats. I
I
could be
will. Just give
wrong,
me a second to pop it up on ESPN.
but yeah,
Because
I think the Cowboys get a bounce back win here, and the Ravens fall to 0-3 and potentially
my
miss the
God,
playoffs. Yeah, am I
we
right?
don't co- um we don't do baseball, but the Dodgers beat the Marlins 20-4 today in the MLB.
Yeah, that's not surprising. The Marlins suck.
God damn, 20-4. That's like a 2020 NFL type score line, man.
Yeah, that is.
But let's check the stats.
Yeah, but I think the
Um,
one problem for the Cowboys is going to be that run game. They looked a lot better against Cleveland on the run game, so if they can bring that back and
Cleveland
counter.
Cleveland did not have Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
but if they can counter that Ravens run with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, I think that we could smell a potential upset as
Yeah.
Cowboys are underdogs in this game. And they were underdogs in Cleveland, and they beat Cleveland. So,
Yeah. So you're going against your defense. I don't know how good your defense is, but your defense
hopefully they get better.
is going against the number one scoring offense by 4.5 yards.
The Ravens are the
And
number one scoring offense this year.
yes, and or the total yards on offense.
There's no way.
They are 417.5 yards. And then the and then for some reason either I'm blind, the Ravens are like 14th in total defense. So they're not bad, but they're not great. They're like, hold up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Ravens
6,
are
7, 8.
32 in passing defense. I can't make that up. If Dak and CeeDee Lamb have the biggest game ever, Cowboys will win this game. If they can connect, Ravens are 32. They're 257 pass yards allowed average. Average. Amir, average.
Where are you looking at? Right
I'm
here
on
it
Fox
says
Sports.
Right here it says the Ravens are allowing 257 yards per game in 2 games.
Yeah, they're last. The
I mean,
second one,
Griffin, I get that, but
the
like you have
second
to
one is
realize,
256.5, and that's the
yeah, but I
Chiefs.
think you have to realize in this generation of NFL games, 250 yards passing is pretty much nothing. That's like a okay game. I
Hey,
get what you mean though, but the Cowboys,
Cowboys are top 20 in run defense, so you know what?
yeah, but that total defense
They're
though,
better than the
it's
Raiders, and look what happened. Okay. That's enough to tell you that I think that the Cowboys will win.
I think opposite, and I'm not just gonna say this because I'm a Commanders fan and I generally hate the Cowboys. I'm saying this because
Oh my
Derrick
God.
Henry in that backfield, Lamar Jackson. There's a reason they are the number one yardage offense in the NFL by a pretty good margin. Lamar Jackson really just needs to scramble, and I don't think anyone that uh, defense can catch up to him. They can tackle him, but can't catch up to him. Derrick Henry as well can have 100 yards. Receiving options, though, Isaiah likely legacy game, Mark Andrews as well, bringing in this a couple of times. Zay Flowers, I think, like playing a bit short and kind of like isolating Trayvon Diggs. Um, obviously, don't let Micah Parsons get to your quarterback. It's not going to end well for you.
Yeah, and especially
Um,
you look at how Max Crosby did, and I'd say part of the problem for this Ravens team is going to be that offensive line. That offensive line is a bunch
yeah,
of young people, and I think that is the reason why the Cowboys are going to win. That is going to
but
hold
I
them
just
back.
think the Ravens. I trust Lamar a bit more than Dak, and I trust Derrick Henry way more than 5'5" Deuce Vaughn,
We're not okay. We're
and
not
that is
starting
why
Deuce Vaughn. We're probably starting Rico Dad or Ezekiel Elliott. So,
I don't care. He's still on the team, and it's pretty much a meme.
has your
I
quarterback thrown a passing touchdown this season? I didn't think so.
Has your quarterback not thrown an interception this season? I don't think so.
Okay, because you're running the ball in front. Anyways, before we end up throwing fists on this thing,
Yeah,
I
we're
will
gonna
take the
start fighting
Ravens.
online.
I take the Cowboys. Moving on
I
to
am taking your brother's favorite team.
yeah, we'll be live streaming that. Me and special guest. We'll also have him on the podcast. This will be up Friday. That will be up Saturday. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, who are fresh off of a really. I don't like them. I hate that call existed, but it was a good call. Um, Taking on the Atlanta Falcons, who upset the Eagles after the Eagles collapsed. This is going to be controversial. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons. I think that defense, without Isaiah Pacheco, too, because Isaiah Pacheco was really the staple, unless you get it to
Yeah.
somehow. But that passing defense for Atlanta is pretty good. That run defense is questionable at least. But I think Atlanta's going to get the upset win. They're going to go to 2-1, and they're going to hand the Chiefs their first loss of the season. That Falcons defense really stepped up. Jesse Bates, obviously, and remind me his name, Justin Simmons.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
all those guys. Matthew Judon should be playing.
I mean, so you're picking the Falcons.
I'm going to take the Falcons to get the win at home.
Morgan Moses update. Josana Anderson just tweeted out that Morgan Moses' knee injury is obviously out for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's really
Timeline
bad.
to be determined. But I hope the Chiefs lose. But I mean, it's the Chiefs. They're really unstoppable. Um, I I don't know how anyone's gonna stop them. But a funny story. I'm so mad. I'm so done with the Chiefs. So is my dad. I My dad comes downstairs. I'm like, Dad, the Chiefs won. He's like, "Well, obviously they did." They're like, "Well, how much did they win by?" I'm like, Dad, 1 point. It's when they beat the Bengals last week by 1 point. He goes, "Again? I'm so sick of this darn team, man. They always win in the stupidest ways possible."
Oh, hold on. Is Drake May about to go in? Oh my goodness. We might see Drake May for the first time.
He might. He might go in
I wouldn't
garbage
be
time.
surprised, yeah. Um, so you're taking the Chiefs?
I'm picking the Chiefs because there's just no way you can stop them. They got better, and I get the Falcons upset the Eagles. Thanks to them.
Thank you. Seriously.
Thank you to them as a
Seriously. Kudos to you.
Commanders and Cowboys fans. But I just think it's the Chiefs, and they're going to win this game one way or the other. And I just think it's going to be it could be a very high scoring game.
Yeah.
I just think the Chiefs defense is going to step up, and that offense. You're going against Patrick Mahomes for crying out loud. Like, who can
Yeah.
stop him?
Well, Cam Taylor Britt almost did. Um,
Yeah,
Moving on.
I'm not liking Cam. We'll talk that about very soon.
Yeah. Moving on to the doubleheader Monday Night Football, which hopefully both of us will be. I will be live for, and hopefully he will be with me, and we will have both the games running simultaneously. Hopefully, if he's
Yeah.
there. Um.
Okay, I want to start out with the game that doesn't include the the orange team. So if you can infer to what game don't want to start to, let's do the gold and blue team, and then I'll start the
Yeah.
other game.
Okay. Um. Jaguars taking on the Bills Monday Night Football 7:30. I will be live for that one. Wait, I just want to see, is Drake May gonna go in here? He is. Drake May is in the game.
He's
Should be
in.
fun. Yep.
Wow. I mean,
Jaguars
yeah.
at the Bills. This is pretty easy. I'm taking the Bills. Jaguars red zone offense terrible. Trevor Lawrence garbage. Travis Etienne's the only one doing anything. Same with Brian Thomas Jr. This should be an easy win for the Bills. If they somehow lose this, they are fraudulent and Josh Allen sucks. And that's all I really have to say about that game.
Yeah. For me too. I mean, the Bills. I don't think we all thought the Patriots would be the Bills would be this good. This I thought everyone's like, oh, Stephon Diggs left, that whole secondary left,
I did
Gabe
that too. I
Davis
thought that the
left.
Bills were gonna be trash.
I know. I'll give them credit. They're doing very good, and I just think they're going to really start out 3-0 when people thought they could be one and two. What happened?
Nothing. I'm gonna send you this. Keep talking.
The like I said, I just think the Bills are gonna win. Josh Allen's playing out of his damn mind,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think it'll be a fun, decent game, but probably like a game where like it's like 23 to like 15, and the Jaguars just can't convert on like a late what's it called? A late like drive in the fourth quarter to win, and like the
Yeah.
Bills defense seals it.
Yeah.
But starting and ending with the most important game to me is the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels traveling to Cincinnati to face on Joe Burrow and the darn Cincinnati Bengals. I just realized that the Bengals play the Panthers next season, so that might be the quickest game for us to cover next week. That's
Do
just
they
a little
really?
bit
Oh wow.
funny.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
That's just
that's
a bit
really funny.
funny. I wanted
Well,
to
you'll have
kind
to
of
cover
bring,
that game, man.
yeah, but for me, I might talk the most for this game, and sorry, Griffin, you're gonna hear me blabbing about my team,
Go ahead.
but but I don't know, man. One point, I think this team's gonna step up. The other point, I think they're not. I don't know, man. I don't.
What's gonna
you're
happen? Who do you
you're
got?
so funny, man. I just saw the post you sent me,
Oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
but it'll be tough. I think Jan Daniels hoping he can get his first passing touchdown this game. But this game is highlighted by the two former Heisman winners and LSU Tiger quarterbacks, Jan Daniels and Joe Burrow. The Bengals, they haven't
Oh
looked
yeah.
impressive. They haven't looked impressive, but I can't say otherwise for the Commanders as well. But I'll just go, and I mean, it'll really come down to can you stop Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? And clearly, we weren't able to stop Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and goddamn near we weren't able to stop Malik Neighbors and Malik Neighbors, honestly, to be honest with you. Malik Neighbors and Devin Singletary, who had 93 yards on us on like 11 carries.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope this offense really involves Terry early on. But I think if we want to win, like you said, we'll rely again on the run game. And I do not mind that at all because I can't wait for people to realize that Brian Robinson is a superstar running back. And I can't wait for him to be in top 15, top 12 conversations about the running back position, as I really think Brian Robinson is a dog. But this game's tough. It really is. I don't know what Cincinnati team we're playing. Are we gonna play the team that put up 10 points against the Patriots, or the team that lost by 1 point to the Chiefs? I don't know. I'm gonna hope that this offense scores points. It'll be a fun game. We get our defensive tackles get pressure on Joseph Burrow. Jamar Chase doesn't have 500 yards by halftime and then we have to pull D'Angelo Hall for him to suit up, or literally Champ Bailey to suit up for us mid halftime,
Mm-hmm.
or even what's his name? God, oh my God, I'm so stupid. How do I not remember one of my team's greats? Or have Daryl Green suit up at halftime for us? Um, and T Higgins as well. But I think Benjamin St. Juice, the corner, can have a very decent game for us. Oh, and also talking about Cam Taylor Brait, he's talking a lot of smack
I
for a
saw what you were
guy
saying.
for
I
a
won't lie
guy.
though. I won't lie though. I completely agree with him. I think Cliff Kingsbury offense looks like crap right now, and I no disrespect to Cliff Kingsbury. I think he's an offensive genius, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's Dan Quinn or if that's your players, but it's not like. Besides the run, your passing thing is garbage.
I don't. I mean, yeah, but I mean, to be honest with you, can you really blame us? Oh, and also, I think a big factor is playing Noah Brown this game. But
Uh huh.
you guys aren't gonna like me. I'm I might generally change my answer by Sunday or Monday night. But you know what, man? I'm tired of this. Give me my freaking Commanders on Monday Night Football, where we will head into Cincinnati. Jan Daniels will put the league on notice, and we will win against the Cincinnati Bengals Monday Night Football. I'm calling it right now. I might change my answer by Monday Night Football, but I am calling it right now that we will beat the Cincinnati Bengals. What are your thoughts?
Give me the Bengals. I mean,
I am
if you're
so
second,
glad I picked the
if you're
Ravens.
secondary, okay, look, no disrespect. I thought your team played really good against the Giants, but it's the Giants, so.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie
your
either.
secondary, if it's the same as it was at the Buccaneers, you're dead. Jamar Chase will put up 500 yards on you. T. Higgins, if he's back, he will be as like crazy. I'm taking the Bengals. Better defense, better offense, better head coach by a mile. Frick you, Dan Quinn. I still don't like you. Um,
Womp womp, buddy.
hey, you know what? If you make the playoffs and he sells your defense, you know where you got it from.
Our defensive coordinator is really the best defensive coordinator in
Who's
the
your
league. I don't know
defensive
why you're
coordinator?
talking. Your
Who's
old
it?
defensive
Hold on,
court,
wait, wait,
your
wait. Shh. Who's your defensive coordinator?
Joe Witt Jr.
I don't know who that is. What he coach?
He was literally on your staff for the last
Was
5 years.
he really? He was
Yes,
the D line coach?
no.
No, I don't remember.
Anyway, that doesn't matter. And that will do it,
I
guys,
barely can name.
for week
Yeah,
3.
that's gonna do it,
Um,
man.
it's a lot of 50-50 games,
Yeah,
and quite frankly, if me and Griffin get all of them wrong,
I wouldn't be
I don't think we
surprised.
can get mad at each other
Yeah, we won't.
because it's really 50-50. These games are really
Yeah, I mean,
50-50. Previewing next week's games, not going to talk about any of them. There's a bit more.
I will be live Thursday night for Cowboys Giants.
Yes, I'll probably
And
join
then
you
I
on that
leave,
too.
and Amir will cover all the Sunday games and
Yes.
probably the Monday games.
Looking forward to week 4. It's looking a bit more easier for me and you to decide. A
Yes,
lot easier, I will say that.
yes.
I think we can breathe next week.
Takeaway games I think for week 4 are gonna be Eagles Bucks, Saints Falcons, Vikings Packers. Honestly, Chiefs Chargers actually, Bills Ravens, and
Yeah,
Seahawks Lions. I think are gonna be the takeaways of the ones we need to keep on notice.
yeah, and Seahawks and Lions and Bills and Ravens as well. If you said that.
Yeah, I said that.
But yeah, guys, I'll do it. Thank you guys for officially listening or viewing episode 2 of the
Yep.
NFC East Unleashed podcast. I'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you guys very soon. Hope you guys enjoy another episode. And Griffin, final words.
Yeah, we'll have a special guest. I will be on here talking about the Ravens Cowboys game with a fellow Ravens fan. We'll have a special guest on here. That episode will be coming out Thursday or Saturday. This one will be on Spotify and YouTube on Friday. Make sure to check a look for that. And thank you guys so much for listening. And we hope you
See
guys
y'all
enjoy this
later.
week 3 of the NFL. Peace out, guys.
See y'all later.